I am here. I am here. Oh, that was
And we are live. Cool. If anyone in the game that happens to be watching the Twitch, you can tell me if everything looks and sounds good. Sounds good.
I will go do that.
What is the moon and map thing at the bottom?
Oh, so yeah, I followed a couple of battle map creators on Patreon.
Oh, that's
Yeah, and their whole thing was like, yeah, use all of our stuff on your streams. Just credit us. So there you go. Moonlight Maps and Afternoon Maps have a little token on the bottom, and the little player card thing below me will, on certain parts of its cycle, show you the creators. I will also add links to them on Twitch and YouTube at some point, but I didn't get to that this week. So
in the future.
yes,
next episode.
there you go. Anyway, so now
Next time on whatever the fuck we're calling this.
We're missing 2 more people in the Discord.
Are we supposed to do?
I know. No, I know.
Okay.
He's talking about the music that I forgot
Rhythm
to.
1 and Rhythm 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I'm horrible. I'm horrible DM.
I wouldn't go as far to say that we're missing 2 people. That's
I disagree with the statement that you're a horrible DM.
Thank you.
that too.
Rhythm are people too.
They're very talented bots, but
I don't know. Clicking on
say
a
that.
YouTube link doesn't take much effort.
mhm.
You'll say that till they attack in the middle of the night.
I need you
What
to roll
did you
initiative.
say?
Rhythm's attacking you.
Bring it.
So all right. With all of that, man, my Streamlabs is being weird. Stefo, does the stream look okay?
Yeah,
My Streamlabs is like just acting
that's fine.
funny.
My screen, my thing is frozen, but that might just be on my side.
Okay. Well, I mean, if it looks good to you, then I'm convinced.
I'm
it'll be
restarting
fine.
it like the screen was frozen.
Okay. Okay. So, Fantasy Grounds is open, by the way. Oh, you're all here.
We're literally there.
Okay.
2 steps ahead.
Well, good. So, when last we left off, you had
kicked
ventured
butt.
to you had ventured to Alton to try to get help from the Count there, Count Leofridge. When you arrived, you realized that Saxton had already sent some men to spin their own story of what happened. The leader of those men being Sir Regulus the Fireborn, one of the Star Knights, an associate of Peloton, who you had already encountered and killed. On his body, you found a note containing information that Saxton probably didn't want getting out. However, the names were obscured by, well, not having the names written out. You only got letters. Some of them you surmise you know who they are, some you don't. After some negotiation and the revealing of your identities, Count Leofridge did begin to show some semblance of trust toward you and the story that you were telling him about the survival of Edmund Bedegar. You had convinced him to ride with you, with a security detachment of his, back to your stronghold to show him Edmund, so that he could confirm it with his own eyes. Once he confirmed it, he said that he would send a messenger back to get every available body that he could muster to come help you fight against Saxton. So, with that having happened, we pick up with you on the trail, surrounded by an honor guard, which is a new sensation for all of you, except maybe Dubar. And you are riding back toward Rend, where you hope to be able to show the Count the truth of the situation, and then have your reinforcements arrive.
During this trip, can I have done something, or are we getting to that?
Yeah, no. The floor is yours. What do you want to do?
During one of those nights, which I've been forgetting to do, I want to charge Ter Lackland's apprentice staff.
Ah, yes. What spell are you going to put
With-
into it?
I am going to put in. I can only put up to level 3.
So 3 levels of spells. That means 1 level 3 spell, 3 level 1 spells, a level 2, and a level 1.
Yeah, I can't do a level 4. Is what I meant.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll put in 3 Arms of Hadar.
Ooh. Okay, yeah. So you charge the staff with Arms of Hadar. You can denote that in whatever way you want, or try to just remember it. It's up to you.
Yeah, I have a little my notes.
And just so that you're clear on how that works, anyone who attunes to that staff will be able to cast whatever spells you store inside of it. So.
Yep.
All right.
And I'm
Tuning
assuming the
takes
one in
like
magic
30
initials-
minutes.
Yeah, it takes a short rest. A successful short rest, to be clear.
And I'm assuming the one of magic missiles.
Also
Recharges.
requires attunement. But yeah, and recharges. It tells you how quickly it recharges. It's a number of times at dawn, I believe.
I roll it, but I only use 3 charges, so
Okay.
3 nights would have been the base.
Yeah, and you have a few days of traveling back to Rin, so it would have recharged.
Even if
in
I
this
rolled a
time.
1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you would have recharged. So is there anything anyone else wants to do on the trip?
There was talk of me acquiring Grace, the sword,
Yes.
from Mr. Lubo.
Yeah.
Allow
All
me-
you're good.
Yeah, allow me to make quick work of moving those.
I think you said we could attune to 2 things, right?
You can attune
You can-
to. So
3 total.
funny enough, I actually found a house rule built into Fantasy Grounds that I have turned on. You can attune to a number of things equal to your proficiency modifier.
Oh, that's cool.
So I thought that was super cool. So I turned that on, and yeah. So right now it's 3, but that will increase with your proficiency increasing.
I think I literally, actually,
Okay. Bran, you have Grace now.
awesome.
Hey Lane, I can't find the magic items in the library anymore. Where would they be? The whole.
They're just under items.
Oh, that requires attunement.
Yeah.
Oh, and Lubo,
Items.
do you want? I have the Firebrand longsword. Is that something you wanted?
Sorry, is it the firebrand or is it the flame tongue?
I have
It's not
Firebrand.
Flame Tongue. It is the Firebrand longsword. I created it, so I don't know if it's
Okay.
already a thing in.
All right, so
It requires attunement.
yeah, so we were gonna switch for the frostbrand longsword.
If you want it, if I don't, for me it's either or.
Well, I'll keep the. No, I'll take the firebrand, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
It
And,
doesn't like it's not as good a weapon. It doesn't do as much damage, and it doesn't give you resistance to stuff, but it looks cool.
And I will put Frostbrand into Jules's inventory.
Okay, well, do you need a sword? Do you not have a sword?
I don't have a sword now.
Okay. I kind of.
I used to have 2 daggers. Now I only have 1 dagger. Someone
It's a really
snaps the
nice
other-
long sword. I don't remember what the really nice long sword was. That was probably Grace,
Yes, I believe so.
just the unidentified one.
Yeah, so you can get rid of really, really nice longsword. I love your yeah. Also,
Sure.
I'm actually going to move Failter out of your inventory because Rhiannon has it now.
Okay, that's fair. I kind of just like reading it. It's just really cool.
Oh, well, I'm
Alright.
glad you like it. But
Even after what it did to you.
Well, I wasn't gonna put it on again, but it was
Just-
pretty cool.
Just like
Of
knowing
course
that
that can happen.
you could get screwed over by it again.
All right, so it's 1d8 plus 1d4. Okay.
Okay. So effectively, Dan, just so you know, Firebrand and Frostbrand are the same sword. They just deal a different damage type.
Well,
Well,
Frostbrand
damn.
does a lot of other stuff though.
Oh, does it?
It lets, yeah, it deals 1d6 instead of 1d4. When you
Oh,
draw it, it puts out fires within 30 feet, and it also gives you resistance to fire. It's a fucking amazing thing.
my bad. I had meant to make those mirrors of each other. So then, in that case, you can go ahead and write this in yourself if you want. Change the 1d4 fire to 1d6 fire. And
Okay.
it also makes you resistant to fire.
This would make me resistant to cold. It did the opposite.
Right. Frostbrand made you. Frostbrand makes you resistant to fire. Firebrand makes you resistant to cold. Yeah, correct. So you are now resistant to cold damage.
Oh, cool. All right, cool. I
So
love
they
it.
were meant to be exact mirrors of each other. I just messed up when I wrote them.
Oh, what's
Gotcha.
the mirror
That makes
about
sense.
putting out fires?
Igniting
Firebrand.
fires.
Yeah, it would ignite any flammable object within 30 feet of you. Any easily. We'll put a caveat on that. So like clothes won't just start igniting.
Okay.
But like
There's like a campfire that was put out or something.
yeah, if there's like a campfire or specifically like a flammable liquid, like something like
Torches.
that, torches or whatever, that would yeah.
But the flame, if there's already a lit flame, wouldn't the flame increase?
I wouldn't say that. It just ignites things. It doesn't make fire bigger.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and in fact, you know what? I'll say that for the sake of making it a little more controllable, I'll let you choose to ignite things. Like you can point it at a very flammable object and ignite it.
Tight. But I can't point it at a person and use it like fire.
Right? No. It's not like that. It
Okay.
has to be something
I was
that's
gonna say.
already it has to be something that's already easy to catch fire, like
Okay.
dry grass.
My
Damn.
mental picture is like it sends out like embers that can ignite stuff.
Yeah, basically, it's not a fireball, right? It's not control flame. It's a minor effect. So if you see an unlit torch or a patch of really dry grass, stuff like that.
Love it. All right. That's
And
awesome.
I'm-
Thank you.
Last caveat on that is, or not caveat, question. Since it's just not on here. Since the firebrand was attunement required, I'm assuming the frostbrand
Yes,
is also.
Frostbrand should be
Okay.
attunement required as well.
It doesn't say, but I was assuming.
Okay, yeah. Here, I will modify it so that it does, because here's the cool thing. In Fantasy Grounds, you can actually, it keeps track of how many things you've got attuned.
Does it?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, it should actually be doing that for this. Okay, yeah. So now you see next to Frostbrand?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. So you check that, and then at the top where it says A, and it's in that triangle, that's you have
That's
2 attunements out of 3. You're attuned to the
The
apprentice
Cape of
staff.
the Mountebank is an attunement.
Let's see. Let's see if Cape of the Mountebank is. No, it is not, according to.
I think it should be.
You know what? I will, in case it's a Fantasy Grounds error, let me.
I'll double check right now.
Yeah, do you have the DMG on you?
Yeah, guys, I'm just gonna look on D&D Beyond.
Oh, okay, that works. Yeah. D&D Beyond. Dun, 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 dun. So, and
Cape
the
of the
Wand of Magic
Mountebank.
Missiles is supposed to also be attunement, Stefano, so hold on. Let me make it so.
So many items to attune.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of the balancing mechanic in and of itself, right? Is, all
I
right,
mean, I literally just got my third one, so.
yeah.
And
It
Dubar,
is
do you have any?
not attunement. Cape of the Mountebank.
Oh, well then, yeah, that one is freebie. I'm not going to argue with the DMG.
Cool. I'd like.
I mean, you would
Well, I would.
in some cases.
I'm
Not
not going to do it right now. I like the Cape of the Mountebank, and it's a one-time use dimension door per long rest. It's not that powerful. It can be if you use it correctly, but it's not inherently busted.
Fair.
So,
Also, we somehow have two, though. Also, whenever we get done with all this, Kieran, we're going back for our stuff. Come hell or high water. It's sunk.
Yeah.
Adventure.
yeah, adventure. So, with that, As you're on your journey, you begin to approach what is sort of the border between Alton and Rind. And the Count of Alton, Leofrich, he's sort of just... You see him looking somewhat wistfully out across the land. And he looks at all of you and he says, "You know, last time I was in Rind, I was also fighting a war. This place has not been good for my health."
Hopefully this trip is less eventful.
Yeah, let's hope. Bran, you said you were a warden, correct?
Indeed.
Do you have any inclination as to what happened those years ago? I used to have a great reputation with the former master of this keep, and then overnight they all disappeared. The keep became a ruin.
I do not know very much, honestly. What I do know is far from confirmed, so. But I am doing my best to figure that out.
I hope that you do. I, for one, miss having the wardens around. Since they've left us or been dispersed, well, their absence has left a mark. These orc attacks, they were not a problem before. The beasts in the wild have gotten more and more savage. And more creatures that are, in many cases, otherworldly have begun to appear. And even in the last year specifically, it has seemed to grow in strange magnitude. I do see these two things as linked. I'm aware of what your order does. It's a large part of why I'm here. The possibility of Edmund being alive is, of course, my primary concern, but I don't think I'd have trusted to go with you if it wasn't also possible for the wardens to return to this land. I'm telling you all this ultimately to say that if we get there and we find Edmund and survive Saxton, you have my help in whatever form I can offer it to restore your order or find out what happened to it in the first place.
Greatly appreciated. Hopefully we'll be able to utilize your resources and assistance properly.
Yeah.
Get
Well,
to the bottom of it.
yes. I would like that. I would like that quite a bit, actually. It means I would have to lose a lot less men to random attacks from Sereth knows what.
Yep.
So, that being said, I am curious now that hostilities have diminished quite a bit. We have a few days of travel between us and the events at my castle. You, little one.
I'm playing Boulder Shear's Parchment with Lubo in the back.
Hold on. Go ahead and play a game. I want to see who wins.
On 3. 1, 2.
Hold on,
3.
hold on. Sorry.
The Discord delay is an issue.
Yeah, Discord delay is an
All right,
issue.
you have the same
close your
delay.
eyes.
Hold on, you both have the same delay coming from me, so I'll count you in.
Okay.
All right, ready?
On
Boulder.
3 or
I'm gonna do
shoot?
Boulder, Parchment, Shears, and then you go. All right,
Okay.
ready? Boulder, Parchment, Shears, go.
The delay.
That delay is so bad. I'm okay with it.
Yes.
So, as the count turns around, he sees Jules lose the game, and he just kind of chuckles.
Aha, I conquered you.
Best out of 35.
He looks at you and he says, "What a strange sight to behold. The grinning demon himself playing a game with a child I don't recognize.
This is a fun game. Want to play?
Make a persuasion check."
Alright. I'm not like trying to make him play. I'm just asking if he wants to play. But I'll
I know,
make a persuasion.
I know.
14.
Okay. All right. Since that delay is something terrible, just roll a d20.
was a bad
9.
8. So he says, well, let's hope I do better in the fight. So, young one, Jules, tell me, what brought you all this way? I know these other 3, they have reputation. You are entirely a mystery.
He's getting
Yeah.
there, though.
I tend to keep to myself a bit until I find out what you're about, you know?
Understandable.
And then you that upset happens.
I understand.
Where do you come from? What's your story? What's your mother's maiden name?
Emelina.
Lovely name.
What's the name of the town you were born in? What was the name of your high school mascot?
I was born in Alton. I'm unfortunately just a boring descendant of nobility. But I was fortunate enough to have parents who weren't entirely useless, like most nobles. They taught me a thing or two, kept me grounded. Ish.
Or something.
So, that being said, spent an awful lot of time in the steam bath back at the castle, so I'm not totally grounded.
Glad you made it out alive, my friend. And hope you do this time.
Yes.
Shit.
Last time I was here, I was fighting with wardens. And here I am again.
What were
So
you
maybe
fighting
it's
against?
not Rend that's bad for my health, it's wardens.
You're the one who wants him back.
That's fair.
This is true.
No, we were
What were you
fighting
fighting against?
an incursion. Strange incursion. I've never known creatures like that. Your wardens have a word for it, but I can't recognize it right now. Most just call it the other world. I've never known creatures from that place to organize. They're chaotic, wild. But these came at us in a battle line. A few small towns fell one after the other, and for a while we didn't know what we were going to do. We made a stand in Rind, and the magic of your stronghold helped give us an advantage, and we were able to drive them back, but we still don't really know what happened.
How long ago, or how long before the disappearance of the wardens did this take place? Years, months?
3 years, probably.
Interesting.
But yes, your warden commander of the time was quite surprised by the entire situation, as I'm sure you would have been too. Creatures like that don't organize. They just don't. But they did.
I'm not sure if I'm familiar with the story of how the wardens disappeared. Does it have something to do with these creatures?
No one knows.
I don't even know.
To the best of my knowledge, one day they
They
were
never-
there in Rind, and then one day they were gone.
Was there any hint of a leader among them? Might be the one organizing everything?
We never found one, but we were suspicious that something maybe had coerced their servitude to
Something
them to-
mortal had coerced their servitude?
maybe.
Or
we
they
never,
were... So someone.
we never found any information. We only suspected it. What else would have caused it? I don't believe they would have just spontaneously formed like that. Some force had to do something to them to make that happen.
When after they left, was the keep like kettle running, stove burn? Like,
No, we found it half destroyed, and we found the bodies of wardens in it. Something had ravaged it. But there was no one reported any marching armies. Nowhere. Which is unbelievable. Someone somewhere would have seen an army of creatures marching and reported it. And no other cities were destroyed. It's as
Wasn't
if,
it a similar case with the other Warden strongholds?
as I'm told, again, Rend is the only one that I am familiar with closely. I know that there was one in Fairland. I know that there is one in Adrathis. I know that there is one somewhere in the Freeholds, but I'm not sure exactly where. They have them semi-regularly, but...
Tell me what you know about King Esthalin? Am I saying that right?
Athelstan? Athelstan.
Athelstan.
So he kind of grins. Well, he's part legend, part myth, part historical figure. If you believe all the tales, he essentially created this nation. Forged it from a bunch of small warring city-states and kingdoms into something bigger. We know some of that to be true. Athelstan was a real person. He did that, but then the tales get wild. Magic swords, rips and tears in the fabric of reality. It's really the stuff of fairy tales.
What is this magic sword?
Well, the
Caliburn?
legends would say it was a sword called Caliburn, but no one's ever seen it. At least not since then.
Right.
Do you know if he stumbled upon it, or did he have like a mage with him?
Well, again, we only have legends to go on. Apparently there were mages all around him. He himself was to some degree magical. His knights were possessed of magic. Again, how much of that stuff you believe is up to you, I guess, but... The stuff
Yeah.
we know is that he was a real person. He united the kingdoms that would become Cambria. And did a great many deeds. Great ones to help defend this land from early aggressors. At one point, it is believed he was trying to unite the entire north. That would be Cambria, what we now call the Iron Empire, Fairland, the lands that, again, now we call Skalic lands, but the Skal were not even present when this occurred. So, it was a different world at that time.
How long ago was all this happening? Like hundreds of years or
Hundreds.
thousands?
Hundreds of years ago. Maybe close to 1,000. He reportedly lived not too long after the fall of the Novesian Empire.
Gotcha.
So what if someone found this sword?
Well, that would be monumental. At the very least, it is a relic of Cambria, almost priceless in value. I'll tell you, our king would want to possess it. It would be a symbol of true rulership. People would rally around whoever held that sword. They would see it as divine in some way. And that's at the very least. If even half of the stories of what it could do are true, it's a weapon of unspeakable power.
Sorry, what was this sword's name again?
Caliburn.
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 Yes, that's part of the sword that we have that got the Dolahan for us.
After you, not us.
He was gonna murder y'all too, so
Your distinction.
Yeah.
I was out.
But he didn't.
Just because we were in
he
the
did
way.
not. Ah. He's dead.
Mm.
We're not, so
I think he sort of dissolved into dust or goo.
Yeah, some sort
how
of
much?
cube.
How much does that mean for something that's from another plane of existence?
You know what? Roll a history check, Bran. You're a warden.
Target advantage.
No. This is obscure.
History check. History.
I'm also proficient in history.
Right,
Start
but I'm
check.
only letting him do this because he
Okay.
is, like, a warden. Fey creatures
Gotcha.
are his realm of expertise.
That's right.
So, I mean, with a 13, you don't know anything specific. There are creatures that exist that, when slain, don't die, but instead return to their home plane. You know that's a thing. You have no idea if that's the Dolahan or... It's not common among Fey creatures, you know that. It's much more common among other creatures from other realms. But whether the Dolahan did that or not, no idea.
Would I know, or could I ask, if in these, rumors of King Athelstan, where he was laid, or where his body is, where he was laid to rest?
Yeah. How do you word it
Exact-
to the count? Yeah.
So this King Athelstan, he Athelstan,
Athelstan.
I know.
Yeah. I know.
He where did he die? What did they do with
There
his...
are so many legends about where and how he died. The prevailing legends say that he died in battle. As to where he was buried, they say he had a lover that buried him somewhere. I'm not sure if that's true. Some say the lover specifically didn't know where he was buried, and that it was the Maiden of the Lake that ultimately took his body away to somewhere else. But no one
The
knows. No
Maiden
one's
of
found
the
his
Lake?
tomb.
But I know what the Maiden of the Lake is.
Make a religion check.
Or if not, I'll just ask with a religion check.
Religion.
14.
You've probably heard the name once or twice. You're not unfamiliar, but he said. But you said you wanted to ask him about her.
Yeah, Maiden of the Lake. What is? Is it an actual person? Is it a?
Well, as actual as any other figure of religion can be. Most people who know of her on faith alone. She's some mythical spirit that apparently forged Caliburn and guarded it, gave it to King Athelstan. As to her being a real thing, who knows? I have seen many magical arcane things in my time, especially fighting with the Wardens, but nothing that would tell me the Maiden of the Lake is real. If she is, I'd love to meet her. She would be quite...
Is it said that her arms are clad in the purest shimmering samite?
You know, it totally is. And that is the thing that is said.
Interesting.
But yes. I don't know.
I'm confused, but okay.
It's a Monty Python
Same.
reference.
Oh, okay.
But in Python, she's holding aloft Excalibur from the bosom of the water, signifying by divine providence that he, Arthur, was to carry Excalibur.
Mhm.
That is why he's their king.
I didn't vote for him.
Listen,
Indeed.
some watery tart handing out swords. There's no basis for... Anyway. I'm not ashamed of my influences. I don't care if you know I stole shit. I like this story,
I know.
damn it.
I love it. I'm enjoying.
Okay, cool.
Of course I love it.
So...
I'm not trying to give you shit for
I
it.
know. Anyway, so he shrugs and says, "I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you more. I'm no historian. I'm no arcane practitioner. There are those out there, though, you could seek out who have dedicated their entire lives to researching and trying to unearth the tomb of Athelstan. Someone out there might know more than I do. Someone out there certainly knows more than I do."
Where's there? What's the name of his providence?
Count Leofrich's province?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Alton. The county of Alton.
Oh,
So, with all of this conversation had, you continue your journey. After a time, you do see those same Saxton men that you passed on the way here. And they turn and they see the honor guard and they see you again, Lubo, and they're like, "Nope, just go. Just go."
Good.
And you have now officially passed back into the realm of Rend, County Rend.
Yeah.
And
And
it
has a long rest.
I mean, it's been like a 5-day
Yeah.
excursion to
Well,
get.
I mean,
I-
in fantasy grounds.
Oh, well, yeah. Hold on, I can make a.
Sorry.
I
Down
did
16
forget
hit
to.
points.
I didn't say it before. I forgot. But during these 4 days, I just want to make sure that I put in time with the soldiers who are around us.
Oh, absolutely. Make a performance check.
Performance check. All right. Well, that's not too bad. That's.
You have inspiring leader. Make it with advantage.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good. So that's 24.
Ooh. So, as you're riding back with the honor guard, one of them at some point on the trip kind of just comes up to you, sort of real, like, hey, the guys were just wondering, like, are the stories about you in the conquest true?
Don't know. What are the stories?
Well, they say that, in one of the great battles, it looked like everything was lost. Your commander had quit the field, and you were starting to break. Morale was down, and you managed to rally an entire company to make a suicidal cavalry charge, and somehow most of you survived it.
This is true. It was a great moment for my companions and I.
Wow.
We worked together and we made something impossible.
And as you say that, you see all of the, like, guards behind him are like, holy crap, it's real. Like, kind of talking to, like, elbowing each other. And,
Yeah.
And he says, that's unbelievable. I mean, you hear about stories like that in the Conquest, but I don't know. Part of me thought it was propaganda.
I assume that I have some kind of gnarly scar on my body somewhere.
Oh, almost certainly, yeah.
Yeah, so I want to show him the gnarliest one and say, it wasn't easy, but we won.
That's incredible. Well, Count Lubo, I just want you to know that myself and all of my men are honored to be fighting with you.
You're a good man. I'm honored to fight with you.
We won't let you down.
And we can do something impossible together.
I hope not.
And
And with that, he kind of goes back, and you see behind you all of them are just, like, talking, and they're hyped right now. They're like, yeah.
Try to sleep.
So you just see Jules on a horse, kind of slumped forward, half asleep.
yeah.
And with that, a couple more days pass, and you arrive back at Castle Rend. And as you get there, you see there are quite a few more people who have arrived. All of your forces have consolidated. You see the units that you already were familiar with are there, and they're training. But there are more. And you see, sort of at the edge of it, looking over all the new units, you see Rydoff and Captain Horblack. And as you approach, you sort of like get into the middle of a conversation. And you hear Captain Horblack talking to Rydoff, and he says, are you fucking serious? This is what you managed to get? They're farmers! They're farmers and half-grown toddlers! They don't know how to use a sword. They didn't even bring any. They've got hatchets and pitchforks. This isn't an army. And right off,
Who's saying this?
Horblack, your captain, and right off responds, "What do you want me to say? Barrel Arbor's not big, and most of them were killed by fucking knights and shit. This is all they had. I did my best. I looked for real fighting men. I managed to get 2, and they're the ones leading this force. The rest of them are just volunteers. They heard what was happening. They heard about Edmund, and I didn't even ask them. I agree. I saw farmers. I saw teenagers who were riled up. They're not soldiers, but they volunteered. They're enthusiastic, and we need numbers. I don't like it any more than you do." And you see Horblack kind of like gets right up in his face and he says, "Listen, if we put these men into battle, not one of them is going home." And it's at that moment they kind of turn and see you all show up. And Horblack looks at you and he says, "It's about goddamn time. They're not even gonna have time to get home before the fucking army shows up."
What? Oh, we're here? Oh.
Is Torsten among the people from Barrel Arbor?
So you make a scan, and again, there's a lot of them. There's about 100 of these people. A lot of faces you recognize. Barrel Arbor's not big for 100 of them to have shown up. You've seen some faces, and among them you do see Torsten as well as Sildar.
Boys back together.
And but they haven't noticed you yet. They're sort of in this crowd, sort of talking amongst each other. And Horblack says, "Listen, your little warden friend here brought us a bunch of levies. Peasants, farmers, children, by some stretch. You want a slaughter? That's how you get a slaughter."
I make a perception or just like a ganda around for, are there any actual children? Like,
Make a perception check.
uh, 12.
That's enough. So, when he says children, he doesn't mean like 3 feet tall,
Yeah,
with high-pitched
I
voices.
assumed
Like,
I
they're
just
like,
want to make sure.
he's talking
It
about,
wasn't
there's
me.
like, among them, it seems like there are some who are like 15, 16 years old.
Me.
Yeah,
Me.
yeah. Yeah, they look like you.
Yeah. I just want to make sure there wasn't actually any fucking
Yeah,
children here.
I don't
Right.
think Rydolph would do that. Right?
Have the Black Teeth arrived?
No. I told you the
Alright.
Black Teeth are not going to arrive until the keep is done, so they're not actually going to be in this battle.
Right.
So.
Well, with an army this size, we don't need just combatants, right? We need support staff. People, I know we probably don't have very many, but people run medical supplies, tend to the wounded as best they can.
If any of them were trained in medicine, you'd be correct. But like I said, these are farmers and children. They're no bigger than that one. And he points at you, Jules, and he says, "But that one can shoot fireballs out of his ass, so he doesn't fucking count."
I can wink.
You can shoot them out of your ass?
There's one time.
This is wonderful.
Am I correct in my assessment that we do need support for this massive army?
I would. Yeah, I would. If we can.
I mean,
So Horblack leans back and he says, "Listen, we can try to field them in support staff, bringing water, bringing medical supplies. We have our own trained corpsmen among some of the units, but
do you have help here? Surely a man such as yourself could figure out a way to utilize them.
Well, the obvious way is to use them as levies. Stick them at the front and make a big meat shield between the enemy and our soldiers that actually matter. That's how it's done traditionally. I don't fucking like it."
That makes two of us, at least.
It's effective, but it's fucking downright disgusting. So, instead, we can try to find a job for them. Have them start cooking, cleaning, maintaining things. Set up a small camp outside the perimeter for the soldiers to stand in. But you need to know, if this shit goes south and they're still here, I doubt Saxton shows any mercy to people who raise arms against him.
No, and we will show no mercy for you.
You're
I don't
goddamn
think these
right.
men. I don't think these men would have made that track this far. They didn't know some of the risk involved.
Oh,
We
it's
just
not
have to do our best.
enthusiasm they lack. It's any form of goddamn training.
Is there anything we need?
I thought they've been training for the whole time we've been gone. That's why I left my second in command here.
Your
Like 2 or
unit
3
has
days.
these levies that Rydoff brought, which is who you're talking about. They've been here for like 24 hours.
Gotcha.
Green is the grass.
They're not even green. There is an actual unit type in Strongholds and Followers called a Peasant Levy. That is what these are. They are a meat shield if you field them in combat.
Is there anything that we need, like, dug?
Yeah, I was gonna say, dig a trench.
We can have them dig a trench. We can have them build fortifications, I'm sure. But none of them are carpenters. A couple of them are too old to dig. The only thing that has these people here is enthusiasm. They heard about Edmund. They heard about what we're doing. They're here because they want to fight. What they don't know is what fighting actually entails. They want to fight, but if they do, they're going to die. Good luck trying to convince them to do anything else.
Well, they are going to help clothe and feed and warm the other people who can fight.
Well, you go tell them.
Alright,
Okay.
we'll go do that. I mean, we kind of, me and Dubar and Jules, all three of us have some leverage, right?
Yeah, I mean, you guys have reputation within Barrel Arbor, so they know you.
Yeah. Was that before or after you, Lubo? You came on the tail end of that, right?
Lubo did help fight the Black Spider and was there for the celebration, and they know that you helped. They just didn't know you as long.
That's fine.
So, you do still have some amount of reputation within Barrel Arbor.
Cool.
So,
We need all that we can get.
Yeah.
Huh?
And this is like army stuff, right? So if I just come in and say, hey, welcome to the army, here's what you're going to do, they should do it.
In theory.
Yes.
They're not sworn to us in any way, right?
no, not really.
But
They're
if they volunteered to come help,
I mean,
so
have a
how much
strong-
time do we have?
I mean, you don't really know.
I was about to say, I don't think we were rushing back because we were like
I
the
will
trip alone
say-
was like,
next to none.
I will say, and he would have told you this, but Horblack has had scouts running around, like, in the greater area of Rind. So if a big-ass army was moving through and was getting close, someone would probably inform you.
Okay.
he would
So
probably.
we've got a little time to train them.
Probably. Nothing's a guarantee at this point, but the odds are in your
theory.
favor. Yeah. But I'm gonna kind of cut you off. You don't have time to train a bunch of farmers how to be proper soldiers. Like, that takes time. You don't have time.
Okay.
You have at most a couple of days.
Yeah. I'm gonna go before this group. Would any of you care to join me?
I'll go.
Where are you going to do what?
I'm just gonna convince these guys to sit this one out and help from the back lines.
I'll go
Oh.
since I'm a kid.
I will also go.
Okay. Dubar?
I mean, I'm not going to set it out, so yeah.
Okay. So as you approach, the first person that sees you is Torsten. And you just see, yes! You have arrived! It took you long enough. Wow, I went Irish. He is not Irish.
I was like,
Hold on. I gotta get Nordic back. He says, it took you long enough. Where have you been?
Gathering additional reinforcements.
Oh, good. Anyway, I when I heard that this was happening, I was here as quick as I could. You've some people came with me. I don't know if it was the best idea, but I couldn't stop them. So we're here.
Well,
We're here to fight.
about that. I think, I don't know about Torsten is battle hardened, technically, right?
Oh, Torsten can fight.
Yeah. So, we may stick him with the vassals and stuff, and Sildar as well, but I'm gonna tell Torsten, you and Sildar may be joining us on the battlefield, but the rest of these men, they need to sit this one out.
So as
for
you
their
say
own
that,
sakes.
Sildar walks up and he sees all of you and he says, well, I was hoping you'd say something like that. When I heard it was happening, I wanted to come, but I want to be forward with you. I wouldn't have. With a battle looming, it was my intention to stay in Barrel Arbor to try and organize them if something should happen to that town. My goal here is to keep these people safe, and I was hoping that you would not field them in battle. If you do, well, your captain has certainly already told you what would happen.
Yep.
We do not want to field them in battle, but they are here and they want to help. We can use them without putting them in battle.
I agree. I still would like to see them leave, just in case things don't go well, but if you're determined to use them, I support the idea. However, with a caveat.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I know you want us to, and as much as I somewhat want to myself, Torsten and I need to stay with them to help organize them. They're not soldiers, they don't know how to be organized. With us, there's a chance that they can be organized. And immediately you just hear Torsten go, what?
I was just to say, if you can convince Torsten, then have at it.
Sildar, he kind of goes on, he says, Torsten, I know you don't want to hear it, but you and I are the only people in Barrel Arbor who know how to organize any sort of a supply chain. We're the only ones who have been in combat. If you want these men in any way, shape, or form organized, we're going to have to be the ones that organize them. Which means not aiding you in the main fight. If you want our help, I'll help, but it means we need to send these men home so that they're not in danger.
Well, how about, tell me this, and this is kind of also out of game as well. So, if we keep them kind of as support or whatever for this fight, and assuming things don't go horribly, horribly wrong, they can be trained, correct? With actual time. Over time.
Hypothetically, they could be trained, given the time and resource investment, but I don't know. I think these men, they're not here to become soldiers. They're here for Edmund.
Oh.
I think once this battle's over, most, if not all of them, are going to return home to farms and fields and schoolhouses.
Well,
do we need them right now?
I mean,
They came here to help. They came here wanting to help and knowing what would be here. And do you think that you can just go in there and say, no, they don't want you, go home? How will they feel about it?
It would take an extreme amount of convincing.
also, isn't there an inherent danger of sending them off on themselves to return home? Especially with the forest the state it's in.
Yes.
And if
Yes.
if they march across Saxton and his men, then they may raise suspicion and may not walk away from Saxton, especially as on the warpath as he is.
You are correct. Which, by the way, is why we're going to need to talk at some point about you sending someone to rally Barrel Arbor at all. But we can deal with that later.
I simply overestimated their combat potential, I suppose.
Certainly.
So we have 100 fresh newbies who are not helpful in combat.
No. No, they would be helpful in combat. Levies actually work.
But they're not as fighting. Not as fighting.
They're a shield. They're a meat shield. In combat,
Yes.
they're a meat shield. Out of combat, they're a support staff.
Yes. If we're not going to use them as a meat shield.
Yes, then they're a
How
support
many
staff.
soldiers do we have?
So, actual fighting men. You have the Bedegar Volunteers, who are the trained fighting men that you could gather all over Gravesford and Rend. They are your main infantry. Then you have the Bedegar Company of Foot, which is mostly guardsmen from Gravesford. Slightly better trained, slightly more well armed. They are fighting men. Those two companies are fighting men. You have the 1st Cavalry Company of Rend that you were able to muster up. And then you have your secret weapon, which is Vercingetorix.
Right.
Also, what about Leifrich, now that he's seen that Edmund is indeed alive?
Oh, yeah. So when he sends his men, you will have the Alton Guard, which is equivalent to another Bedegar Company of Foot. It's another unit of medium infantry.
I mean, I feel like we're ready. So
I don't
as
see
we
it
can
getting
be.
any better.
Yeah,
I'm just counting the numbers. So the volunteers are different. So the levy is not in the notes yet. Okay. Company. Do we have to roll to see how big they are?
No. The die is their size. So in the warfare rules,
Oh, every time they get
Yeah.
hurt, it goes down one.
it goes down
Okay,
one.
my bad.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's their health essentially.
Well,
So-
I know I need to make some ammo over the next couple days.
So you guys have between, and I'm going to add a bit of a randomness mechanic to this. You have between 1 and 4 days before Saxton's men arrive.
Okay, doke.
Yeah, I will
Is
allow
there-
you to work on one, we'll call them preparation per day. Prioritize what you want to do, because the only one you're guaranteed is the 1 day.
Here's a question for you. Oh shit. Never mind.
It's disheartening.
Oh. Okay, yeah, no, never mind. So do we would know where sort of the direction they're coming from?
So, Rend, and specifically Castle Rend, are sort of butted up next to a mountain range in the northwest. So, they would have to come from southeast to some degree.
Okay. Let's see what you guys think about this. I have this alarm spell scroll.
Mhm.
If I'm within 1 mile of the warded area, I get a ping that will even awaken me if I'm sleeping.
I think that's more useful in like a dungeon. We have scouts at this point here. If it's a scroll, I would save it.
I agree with that. Just from the scroll, it's very valuable. So, and it can possibly, I don't know how that works with you learning other spells and stuff, but it may be
It's a
something.
one-time use.
Yeah, but maybe Pinna can make more or learn how to make more or something. So that may be worth holding on to for that aspect. And then, assuming we don't all brutally die or something, then we can have arms all over the place in the future. If she can replicate them. So, so riddle me this, Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Mechanically, what if myself and Dubar, after he makes some ammo, were to go and kind of go guerrilla warfare on these guys, and if we get a sense of where they're coming from and kind of just ping at them with, or I don't know how well it would work for Dubar. I mean,
So here's
one
what I'll
blast and run.
say. Here's what I'll say. If you want, I'll let you spend your last preparation day harrying the soldiers.
Harry.
Harrying meaning fucking with them, fighting guerrilla warfare, trying to pick off some and take some numbers down.
So, but how do we know when our last day is?
So your scouts will tell you when they're within a day
well-
away.
Yeah.
And once
we'll
the
have
scouts
some
tell
foresight.
you, yeah.
We just don't know. And then we can make a move, and then, I mean,
So,
I'm down to do that.
so do you want to commit to using your last day of preparation for guerrilla warfare?
Mm,
I,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
definitely want to try and, like, real life snipers, like, go for the commander. Like,
Yeah, try to hit some officers.
not
Mhm.
just like shoot randomly, like be a
Yeah.
pest, but like try to actually,
Random schmuck.
just try to actually aim.
Okay.
You gotta
at
Mel
officers.
Gibson this shit
Yeah.
in the woods.
I love this idea. So I'm gonna roll a d4 and see how many days before Saxton arrives.
What, before we even know any of that information, what other preparations could we do and have people work on? I'm trying
I
to
want
think.
my retainer, Bruna, who is training the soldiers to interface with whoever is in charge of the levy
Mm-hmm.
or leading the levy, just so they can coordinate what they need, get bandages, get arrows fletched, make sure they know how to get food, how to get soldiers in and out if they get wounded. I want there to be like legit cooperation between the support and the army.
Okay. So that is what your first day of prep would be then. You and Bruna helping to coordinate that effort.
Yeah.
Also, how do you say his name? Is that name?
Oh,
Oh,
Vercingetorix.
Yeah. So is he just gonna show up, or do we need? Do we need to make
Aegis man
efforts?
ever.
to
Suffice
contact
it to
him?
say, he has his ways of knowing what is happening in the forest.
Alright. So don't worry about it. Really.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Alright.
Also, something for Fantasy Grounds that I should do. Boop. 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 And boop. Also, boop. But you guys can tell me if you decide not to use them. Oh, it looks like some of them didn't boop.
Should be.
Got 5 things.
Most of those are in notes, right? Or in the note.
Yeah.
I thought they were all in the notes.
Well, but the
Except for
Gravesford
levies.
levies weren't.
Those are Gravesford levies are new.
But
The
we're
other ones
not.
I think were.
Which you're supposed to say Barrel Arbor levies, my bad.
I don't think we're going to be using them anyways.
Okay, then I will cross them off the list.
Well, we're not using them yet.
We're not
You're
using
not
them in
using them
combat.
as a unit, is what I mean.
Yes.
Correct.
Oh yeah, not as a unit.
Right. That's what I was
Correct.
showing you, was that they do have a unit card. So,
Cool.
So. all
So
right.
what else can we do?
Well, I'm going
Preparation-wise?
to... Okay, no. Go ahead and determine... Give me a
Yeah,
maximum
I'm-
of 4 preps you want to do. You've got
Ah.
one for your last day. Lubo, you have one for your first day.
I'm going to pray and meditate.
Okay.
I'm going to war. I want today the endless sky to bring us victory, and I want to show my God that this is all in His glory. We are all under Him, and we are going to be victorious.
Okay. So you walk into. This will technically be your second day of prep, so I'm not going to describe it until we know
Okay.
what's happening. Anyone got anything else they want to do?
I'm still trying to
Actually,
think.
you should probably know how many days you've got. Before we even, because we could spend a lot of time doing this, and then you have 1 day. You have to go into the jungle now.
That's fair.
So, all right. So, let's see.
How close is the jungle to our walls?
It is not
Yeah.
remarkably far away. On that side of it, there are other sides that are less overgrown.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what another day. If we have another day of prep, we should lengthen the distance.
The south side, the south side of the wall is butted up next to the forest. Eastern side, there's a large sloping valley that goes down towards a small river, which you guys have been to because that's where the secret exit is. So,
Right.
So, the first day, you don't hear a report of an army. What are you doing?
Well, like I said, I'm making ammo. I don't know how long that takes.
I'm going to call that a
Oh,
day of
okay.
prep, but I will rope it into, like, you're making ammo and generally maintaining weapons. I'll even say with your skill set, you can be maintaining, like, unit weapons and helping facilitate that.
Okay. So how much can I have made?
Hold on.
Rastin and Charles here. I don't know what I should be doing.
If we don't have an extra day, I suggest having the the levees extend the distance from our walls to the forest. Just make sure there's more open space around the walls.
Okay, so Kieran, your day of prep produces 90 bullets.
Alright.
And I think we established the rifle is worth 2 bullets.
Yes, exactly.
Those are 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, also, if you want to actually delve into some gadget crafting, feel free within your time.
Yes, I was. Are telescopes a thing?
Ships would have.
What,
I
are
don't
ships
know.
that advanced yet?
That's
Maybe
my question.
not.
Yeah.
I kind of think maybe they aren't a thing, but you're Dubar.
So I was wanting to. Well, this may not be the right time. You know, I'm just gonna try and make like some grenades or like, because I think Pinna could help me with this. Like, try and get some makeshift grenades going.
Okay.
Torsten's busy, right? He can't really, and he doesn't have any of his equipment to upgrade armor or anything,
Yeah.
does he?
Not really. No. Kieran, in a full day of committed work at what will be your stronghold, roll 3 Tinker's checks for me.
Tinker's checks, I am proficient. What do I add for that?
It is intelligence and proficiency.
Okay, so plus 8, okay. So 3 checks. First one's 21. Ooh, that one.
Ooh. Ooh.
And 19. Fuck, there were 2 good rolls. And then that one.
Learn from my mistake.
So,
Here's the question: is he gonna average them, or was it 3 separate instances?
I don't
Tune
know.
in next time.
so, Dubar, you begin to set up a sort of makeshift workshop. And for the first time in a very long time, you lay out all of your tools and you get everything ready, crack your knuckles, and you're like, all right, let's build some shit. And you start assembling parts. You've got black powder, you've got all of these other things. And you've been thinking on this one for a long time about how your guns work and what you can achieve with that. And you begin to fashion what will be grenades. Very primitive black powder and iron grenades, obviously, but grenades nonetheless. The first one goes off without a hitch. And you're like, all right, I think this is going to work. And then you get a little arrogant with the second one. And everyone is alerted to the sound of a cacophonous explosion.
I'm running over.
You see a piece of the already mostly ruined wall very much sheared off. A lot of tools scattered about all over the place. A layer of black soot on the ground. And Dubar, who is laying a few feet away from the table now, covered in black soot.
Still breathing?
Still breathing. Yeah.
Okay.
No one heard that, right?
Oh,
Are you
what?
good?
Dubar, Jules responds to you, and all you hear is ringing.
Yes.
Just
Okay, I run down and I just I see how much damage was done, and Luo is just in awe of what happened down here.
Do I need to cast Cure Wounds on Dubar?
I'll prestidigitation like a gust of wind to kind of like clear the smoke.
If this were the last day before the combat, you might have to. But you know it's not, so there will be a long rest between now and then. So largely you're getting off consequence free, except for instead of getting 3 grenades, you're going to only get 2. So
Good thing you didn't blow up the first one with the second one, but
I thought about it, but I just didn't want to be that mean. It's your first time doing this, so I'll be a little forgiving. But
No, I think there is a gold value.
yeah,
associated.
there is a gold value associated with this. Would be low complexity because this is not even as complex as making your pistols, like at all. So
Yeah.
For those of you not in the know, me and Kieran did design a gadgeteering system for his character. So
I mean, you
Right.
kind of you designed it. I just sort of
well, but I talked over a lot of the ideas with you. So
creative input.
let me.
it is technically a feat, by the way I ruled it. So if you guys want to try gadgeteering, hypothetically you could take the feat. So,
Five-
but it's kind of Dubar's thing.
500.
So.
500 gold to attempt.
Seems
Because this is your first time. Well, if the first time cost is higher than subsequent costs.
I barely
So-
have enough cash on me to do it.
The first grenade would cost that much. The other 2, including the one that failed, because you have to spend the money even if it fails, would be at the second. They wouldn't be at first time cost.
So what is so? First off, I don't remember. Oh, we go to whatchamacallit, Matt Mercer's thing for the cost of bullets, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what is a grenade gonna cost?
We'll say a grenade for gunpowder expenses will cost 30 gold.
Okay, grenade. There we go.
So, that is Dubar's first day of prep. And by the way, the third grenade goes off without a hitch, although you are considerably more careful this time around.
um,
Yep.
So, Lubo, This is your first day of prep. Do you want to aid in facilitating communication between soldiers and support, or do you want to pray?
I want to aid in the support.
Okay. With the inspiring leader feat, I'll go again. Have you make a. We're just gonna say raw charisma with advantage.
Charisma with advantage. All right. Okay. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So you begin to create this communication, and at first the barrel arbor levies, they're not actually super thrilled. They wanted to fight. They don't know what they're getting into, and you know that. But you manage to get them talked down into this support role. And after a time of working with them, everything actually starts to turn really, really smoothly. I'm going to say, because of this, add this as a note. Once during the battle, you can give a unit advantage on a morale test.
Okay.
So you decide when that happens.
All right.
And that is sort of the mechanical result of having this awesome support structure that's just ferrying supplies into the fight.
Fabulous.
So, Jules, your prep day 1. What are you doing?
Should I? It's kind of like a question too. Should I have Pinna check out? I have 1 vial of Dolahan essence.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'll go up to Pinna and be like, "Hey, we came across this. It's what is this?" And I just kind of like show her the vial.
She takes it and she looks at it, and you see her eyes kind of flash gold again as she does some sort of arcane spell across the vial. She goes, "Well, I've never seen anything quite like that before. I don't know what a Dolahan is, but it's that.
Me neither.
Let me run some tests." And she takes
Show her
it
the
and
scroll as well
Yeah,
before she leaves.
and these. Can you make more of them? And I hand her all 3 scrolls.
she sees them.
Can you transcribe these to?
There are people who can. This is not actually my discipline. I didn't do well in scroll work at the tower. There is someone who can help you with this, Jules. It's not me. I am very sorry.
Fair enough.
These are very good, well-made scrolls, though. I can see the quality. So she sort of cycles back to the Dolahan essence real quick. And she looks down. And after a while, she sort of goes through the motions of this research. And
We'll call it the first day.
yeah, first day. And she comes back to you and she says, "This is remarkable." So I've already done it. I kind of got carried away and spent my day doing this. I've synthesized this down into poison is not the right word. It doesn't hurt you. But, and she hands you 2 vials. The essence of this creature is, from what I can gather, one of a tracker, a hunter, a supreme, a perfect hunter. Once it marks you, there's no hiding from it. It knows where you are forever. Or until it marks someone else. This would allow you to do the same thing to someone else. Sort of. And she hands you 2 vials. This reagent is the one you drink, and it will link you to whoever drinks this one. And once you have both ingested your respective serums, you will have a preternatural ability to follow that person wherever they are in the world. You will know their direction. Now, a Dolahan is composed of this essence. These are but small fragments of what it can achieve. And it's time sensitive. Once they drink it, you will have some limited time that you can do this, that you can track them. I don't know exactly how long it'll be. Best estimates would put it at about a week.
Benna, you're great.
Thank you. Thank you, Jules. Here, and she hands it to you. So add the... Oh, I forget what it... the actual Dolahan power is called. Just call it Dolahan Tracking Potion for now.
I'll say as soon as I get that, I'm running to the group.
Okay.
Look what I got.
Look, watch here. I'll drink this right now. Brand you. No, I was kidding. Yeah. So I basically, long story short, do you guys wanna? This is what we have. Is it just like an instantaneous thing, or is it like a check, or is it just?
No, it's if the tracking agent and the tracker agent are in one person at the same time, click, and the tracker will know where the tracked is for a week.
Not the same person and different people. One each.
The one person would know.
Yeah. Well, whoever you want to have the ability to follow must drink the tracker potion.
Mhm.
The one that you want to track must drink the track-E
Track-E.
potion. Yeah. We can call it a hunter potion and a prey potion.
I'm.
Do you want
I'm.
that, or do you?
Do you want me to? I was gonna say, do you want me to keep the prey potion? Because I have good deception. And does someone want the actual
I mean,
hunters?
you might as well keep them both together until you want to use them.
Yeah.
I just don't want to drink one and opposite. You know?
What?
Do you want me to keep track of them?
Yeah, you
You don't
hold
wanna-
the hunter one. I don't want to have him. I don't want to drink the prey on accident and switch vials left, right, right, left.
Are they? I mean, we could label them.
Nah,
This
I'll
is
actually
true.
keep it. I was just. I was
I
saying if
think we
someone
should-
wanted the.
We should
the
label them
tracking-
anyways.
That way I
So-
know you have the trekking one and I have the prey one.
I am just afeared we'll run into a situation where one person needs both of them, but they're not with the other person for some reason.
I'll carry both. And I'll
As-
label.
Yeah, there's no way to know what could happen, so
Okay, I bet.
welcome back.
Did you hear what I got from the Dolahan?
No, I left or right as Lane was talking about it.
So we have, and I'm going to keep them and mark them. We basically have a hunter potion and a prey potion. We get the person to drink the prey potion, or something drinks the prey potion, and then one of us drinks the hunter potion, and we now have, similar what the Dolahan had, of knowing exactly where that thing is.
For a week.
Give or take a week, give or take a day
Well, that's
or two.
Eeh.
So
useful.
we'll hold that, but
Did you order McDonald's?
Yeah, and it's like 30 minutes late.
Wait, didn't you go out to get food a minute ago?
I did, but I was waiting in line for like 3 or 4, maybe 5 minutes, and it didn't move. And I was like, well, there's no way I'm not going to be like 40 minutes late. So I just left.
Oh. Well,
Came
thank
back.
you for supporting the game, that hardcore man. That's awesome.
Oh,
All right, so we had Lubo's day one prep, Dubar's day one prep, Jules' day one prep, Bran.
well, I need really fast like the
Yeah.
mechanical function of the grenade. Like
Oh,
what I
so
roll
each
in.
grenade is equivalent to a base level fireball spell.
Okay, I'll look that up.
Okay.
It's very good.
Okay, that's all I need.
All the fireballs.
So,
My day one. I don't know how useful this would be. Maybe you can help quantify it. But what if me and Echo went out and did some hunting to get like supplies and food and like meat for everybody to eat?
okay, to just help aid the forces. So,
Yeah,
Everybody,
kinda.
the orc, the half-orc, to
It, yeah, yeah. Work with what's his name? I literally
I
just
forgot a
had
name for him.
I've got it. Just why?
Oh, Greenville. Grieville.
Yeah, Grievel.
oh yeah, Revo.
Yeah. Kind of just make sure everybody's firing on all cylinders and maybe heighten the morale a bit.
Yeah, go ahead and make a survival check.
Say skills, survival. That is a 20.
Okay, 20. So, you and Echo go and you get quite a bounty. It's a lot of food. Again, when you're talking about feeding armies, there's not a lot that any one person can really do. But it's substantial. And what you're able to guarantee is that all of your retainers and the party and sort of the people who are most invested in, the preparations of all of this are well fed and encouraged from it.
Burning people.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
So,
Or hard blacks, what I meant.
right, for all of you, since this mostly affects the party, I will say that you all get, Bran, what is your, what's your survival modifier?
+6.
+6? Okay,
Mhm.
roll a d10.
Okay. That is a 6.
Okay, all of you will get 12 temporary hit points going into the battle.
Tight. Thanks, man.
Welcome.
Oh, can normally temp HP do not stack. Can they stack with my inspiring leader this time?
I'll let it happen this time.
Cool.
I'm okay with it.
Sweet.
So,
Now let me remember
that
how much it
brings
is.
the first day of preparation to a close.
So we should
Upon
have
this-
25 temp HP total.
How much?
Whoa,
25 total. Because I get 13, he gets 12. So that's 25.
that's a fucking bunch of extra. Fuck, I kind of regret this, but I'm sticking to it. So,
Takes his vaccines.
it just means I need a big fireball. Anyway,
You can take these backsies if you want.
no, I'm not gonna do that. Where's the fun in that? That's unsportsmanlike. If you guys are allowed to not know how your characters work for like 3 levels, then I'm allowed to occasionally make an HP mistake.
Fair enough.
So,
It'd be like that sometimes.
What is
anyway, so second day arrives, and you are all woken up, each by different people. Right off goes to you, Brandy, says, you're gonna want to hear this. Dubar, you're just woken up by the commotion.
Nobody loves me.
Well, your retainers aren't here yet.
I would have woken you up.
Jules, you are woken up by Pinna. And Lubo, you're woken up by... Wait, no, Nazir's not here yet, so it's Bruna.
Sure.
And you're woken up aggressively. She just kind of hits you.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. And you're all taken outside where you see your scouts have returned. And they say, Saxton will be here in 24 hours.
What time of day is it right now? Within 24 hours or in 24
Within
hours?
24 hours. Sorry, I meant to
Okay.
say that. Saxton's men will be here within 24 hours. And it's early morning.
All right.
So,
Alright.
effectively, you have one more day of prep.
Brad, you ready to go?
Not yet, right?
No, this is
wait.
your last day of prep.
I guess technically, yeah.
So, do the two of you want to go be part of this guerrilla operation, or do you have another thing you'd rather do with your last prep day?
I'm literally ready to go. I have nothing else to do, really.
is
I
going
would
to
want to
be-
do one of two things. I would not go on the guerrilla mission. I think it's a bad idea.
For you
I'm-
or in
I'm in-
general?
Am I what?
No, he said, would it be a bad idea for you, or do you think it's a bad idea in general?
Oh, I think it would be a bad idea for me. I don't. If you guys are confident in your ability to accomplish what you want to accomplish, go for it.
I also meant I'm ready to go, as in, like, I really don't have anything else to do. Not necessarily that I would go. I'm ready to go.
Okay. So then, just go ahead and raise your hand if you are going on the guerrilla op.
What are you
I have a
guys... First of all,
question.
how far?
I mean, I think we're gonna go to the edge of the woods and work our way back.
Mhm.
Wait, can you... Bryn, you can teleport, yeah?
Once a day, yeah.
And to a very limited distance.
30 feet, I think.
300 feet.
No, 30 feet. Misty
Can
step.
you take,
Oh,
can
never
you
mind.
take Dubar with you?
Okay.
Yeah. Dubar, do you have a cape of the mountebank or no? You may want to borrow one.
Which is why I was like, do you want me to go with, so I can just grab one of you?
It's up to you, honestly.
Keep in mind, even if it was just the two of you and you caped out, Echo would get left behind.
True.
Is Echo coming?
Yeah. Probably not. Let me. I think Misty Step you can bring I thought you could bring somebody with you with Misty Step.
One person.
So Echo.
Is there any chance, I know it was kind of like, in the map it's like a field. Is there any way from, like, a halfway point to meet them at?
Well, since you don't know exactly where the army's coming from, they're going to have to sort of find the army. Not really. I'm going to say this guerrilla op, once it's set off, is kind of running independent of whatever else is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have Athena to help spot too.
I'll go with you guys. Why not?
Okay. So then, Lubo, what are you
Yeah.
doing on your last day of prep?
Well, first I asked you a question in DM. Could you just check that real quick?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, I can do that.
How long is his... That's not an appropriate question.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, yeah, I mean, if that is something that...
If you want me to cover the thing up, I
yeah,
can.
just do that. Just do that. If
Okay.
you don't mind. If you don't, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, you don't know. I asked because I
Yeah.
like.
I don't want the
wanna make
stream
sure
to
I'm doing it.
interfere with your comfort. So I don't like that, but at the same time, I also don't want to take any chances. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, I can just not do it. That's fine.
Oh, dude, now I feel bad.
so-
All right. Anyway.
No, it is fine.
okay.
I would like to. I do want to enlarge the clear area around the castle. So if we can have the levy put in some work and chop down some trees, we can not only build, fortifications, but we can also make there be a bigger space between our walls and the forest.
Okay.
Also, should we send off the quote-unquote children?
Mm,
Yeah.
There were. I said there weren't any actual children.
Well, they were
that's
15,
like
16.
teenagers.
Yeah.
There's a quote-unquote.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are you gonna do with them? You'd have to have some forces escort them out of the fort. I mean, best thing for them is to put them in the castle somewhere. Them and Edmund, maybe.
Be chill around Edmund. Let's do it.
Okay. So.
Wayne,
Yeah.
are trebuchets a thing in this world?
Oh, yeah.
They are. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I know what your next building project is.
Well.
With all this newly acquired lumber we're gonna have.
Yeah, we can totally build some shit.
Okay.
So.
That's the plan.
So then now, with Oh, Lubo. Sorry, I never got done with you.
Yeah.
What are you doing on your last day of prep?
The forest team, the clear cutting.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, so I'm not really going to associate a role because that's something that, a army of 100 levies could easily strip out 50 feet of forest, and create some more distance between the walls and the woods. And also provide enough lumber. Now, they don't have time to build proper fortifications. It's going to be log fortifications. Like, hey, we don't have time to carve these and make them into perfect squares, but, like, just throw some logs in a stack and,
Maybe.
Chicken logs.
But yeah.
Maybe like
We'll do what we can with them.
Yeah. So, but the fortifications do get made. So, cool. All right then. Now, on to our little guerrilla mission. So the first thing I want to have, we're going to do a bit of a skill challenge. One of you,
Oh,
okay,
you want to cast whatever it is. Help us sneak around.
keep in mind, you're now within the day of the battle. So any spell slots you use now, you're not going to have in the fight.
Yep.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab a drink.
Okay.
okay.
Good luck.
It lasts 1 hour, so I don't really want to yet.
That's fine.
I would rather do that on the retreat than on the
So,
initial.
this...
Also, I have to get up kind of early tomorrow.
We are.
so-
I'm aware. I know.
Okay.
I've been working on that for a second. That's why I'm doing this in the form of a skill challenge and not a full-fledged encounter.
Okay.
So there are going to be 3 skill tests that need to be made. You can each make one. Once you've decided that you're the one making the test, you can't make the next test. Okay?
Yep.
So the first test that needs to be made is actually locating the army, which will be a survival check.
I mean,
I think that's who might want to.
Okay.
yes. And
So,
I will have Athena helping me. So
okay. Yeah, with Athena's help looking for an army, roll with advantage. Survival with advantage.
first one is a 16. Second one is a 21.
Okay. So, it's not difficult. It's a big army. And something that you glean from tracking them, you do see where they passed through an area similar to the one you did when you first came to Rind, where there were some overgrown animals and insects that seemed to be ravaging the land. And you can see signs already of scuffles with the woods itself. And they are having a hard time moving through this place.
How big is their army compared to our army?
So with Athena's sight, you see that it seems to be roughly equivalent. in raw size.
Wait, we never did the thing where whatever the count found Edmund. Did he find?
Yeah, we never actually played through that, but he would have found him. We'll circle back to that real quick before we leave.
Okay.
I think Athena gets advantage on. I mean, I don't know if it matters, but I think the owls have keen sight.
Yeah,
I'm Googling it right now.
they do. No, I remember that. So you have. It looks to be roughly equivalent to yours. The next test I need from one of you. Also, why did rhythm stop?
It's
Okay.
fine.
Nope, I hear it.
Oh,
I hear it.
I just have it too quiet then. Oh, I totally have it too quiet. This is a quiet song.
Man,
Anyway.
music. Yeah.
Okay. So, I need a stealth test from one of you to get close to the army. Bran, you've already made your check.
Yep.
I can do it.
Yeah,
Unless,
because I'm
I
assuming
mean-
the next test is shooting, and I have to do that. So
I'll do stealth.
Could I cast Pass Without Trace on us now?
Yeah,
He did say he
you
was
would
good.
have to expend a spell slot, but yes, I'll allow that.
How many? I don't even remember.
I
think
this might not be necessary. I don't.
How confident are you in your stealthy abilities?
Same as your survival.
I mean,
raw dog it.
I'm not afraid to cast Pass Without Trace for you. So,
If you want to,
Yep.
I'm.
do you want it or not? If you don't want it, I won't do it. So all.
What else can you
on-
cast with it?
What do you mean?
You're asking
Like,
for a
if
full
without
spell
password,
list, I
like-
guess.
Without, do you have other things to cast if you use that?
Yeah, I have one other spell I can cast, but I can cast if I cast Pass Without Trace, I can cast 3 second level spells, so I still have 2 slots, or whatever, and then I have other stuff I can do as well, so I'll be okay.
Sure. Given that this is kind of like us walking up and now we're here. Sure. Fuck
Mhm.
it. If you want to cast it, then.
I will cast Pass Without Trace on all of us, just because.
Okay. So then, add +10 to your roll, Stefo. Jules.
Thank God you did.
Insurance.
21.
Okay. Well, would have been an 11 without it. Whee. Okay. So, you make your way up very close to the army, keeping to the woods and keeping yourselves hidden very well. Once you get to the army, it's chaos. There's so many people. Dubar, I need you to make a perception check to try and identify officers and figures of interest.
Hey, I'm good with perception. So that would be a 12.
I'm good with perception.
Well, I get +5.
I'm good with stealth and I rolled an 11.
With a
Amateur hour.
12, you don't get as much information as you would have liked. You don't manage to spot any unit officers. No one that would be a very obvious target of assassination. However, in searching for unit officers, you do take note of some key information. A couple pieces, actually. One piece of key information. Saxton has brought archers, which you do not have.
Okay.
Information 2.
That's not true.
Piece of information 2. One of Saxton's units is composed of orcs. They're not the White Tusks. It's a different clan. But it does appear that he has paid another group of orcs to fight for his, for his army.
Yeah. Well, with no clear officers, I kind of want to just take a shot at one of the archers.
Well, hold on. I wasn't quite done. You get one more thing on a 12. So you don't get unit officers. If you rolled really high, I was going to let you actually affect the morale of a unit. That's not going to happen with a 12. But you do identify two figures of interest, one being Saxton, and one being the lady next to him, who is wearing the emblem of a Star Knight.
Is she like clad in armor?
Yes.
Oh, it's the other letter
A.
Yeah.
So I can shoot at one of them?
You could take a pot shot. I mean, you're just going to do however much damage you do, right? If you hit. And you're welcome to do that. But if nothing else, you have gotten some pretty significant information. You could call this a recon trip and call it a win, if you wanted to.
How, given where we are and where we're... Unless you're...
One little thing. Sorry. Now that you have seen Saxton, I have to point out, in case it didn't already occur to you two, you've met him before. Saxton was the guy that shipwrecked on the island with you. In that one shot we ran like over a year ago.
I did not put that together at all.
Wait, like when we lost our horse.
Yeah.
And he stole the artifact. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. This bitch.
I kind of want to shoot at him now. Maybe I'll crit and I can
Can I shoot at him as well?
You guys can if you want to.
We came here to shoot.
I was gonna, wait, before we... Okay, now that we're here and we have, like, say, in range, how far are we from the keep?
You're a couple of hours away from the keep, like four hours away at this point. And that's at your speed. And remember, you can move much faster than this army can right now. So...
Yeah. I say we take a shot at Saxton and then go on.
We dip hard.
Yeah. Just one shot and out.
One shot each or just one shot?
Well, how far away is he?
Oh, God, y'all are pretty far away. You're like 200 feet, 300 feet.
Still in range.
Yeah.
I know y'all are sharpshooters, so you can do it, but it is far.
I mean, we can attack up to like 650 feet.
Yeah, something like that, which is crazy and awesome, but yeah.
Yeah.
You're well within range, but yeah.
So, riddle me this. Do we get one shot, or do we get one attack? So would I be able to attack twice?
It's an attack action. It is an attack action. So yeah, you would get your extra attacks.
I still get
that
only one shot.
Would both be sneak attacks?
Oh yeah, because you're using your...
at the same time?
Yeah, absolutely. This would be... So you guys have advantage, because it is a sneak attack.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Is Echo with us?
No. She is safe at home. No, that's not.
Wait, sorry. Tell me again how far they were.
About
200.
300... About more like 300 feet, if we're all things being equal.
So you should shoot first, Fran.
Yeah. I'm having a thought here, though. Hold on. Let me... Alright,
I'm going to start towing back towards the keep. This is not going the way I thought, so we're going to start heading back. And by we, I mean me.
I'm trying to figure out where my ammo is. I feel like
Do you have a special arrow or something?
There's just in my
I
pouch. In the,
I have. I mean, I have a few different types, but I was pretty sure I have some like elvish poisoned arrows or something.
Yeah, I wish
I
I
think
would have had time to make my special bullets.
I have a vial of poison. Didn't we get that from something recently?
Yes.
I
I
don't
mean,
remember.
all I have it.
I think that was
Oh,
from the dungeon.
Was it from some of the mushrooms we picked?
Uh,
No,
I
that
think
was
we found a
it was
potion.
something Penna made for us.
The mushrooms was the like see in the dark one. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the guest
I think
fungus.
we found the poison vial. I think it was in the
It's in the
next to
spider.
that machine,
Machine.
the big fireball dude thing. I think it was there.
I don't remember.
That
Oh,
mining
was it?
room. No, okay.
Or the flame skull was.
Flame skull. That thing.
I don't
No,
remember.
I
But
guess you should.
it's a vial of poison. How much? I have two. There's two of them. How much damage would that add, Lane?
There's actually a poison vial in the thing somewhere. But for now, I'm going to adjudicate 2d6 extra poison damage.
And one vial is one arrow, or how does that work?
Yeah, one vial is one arrow.
So that's what? So that's 4d6 extra damage, right?
If you hit.
If I hit.
Now remember, with poison vials, you have to declare you're using it before you shoot, so you could miss and waste a vial.
What do you think, Tubar? Hypothetical maximum damage.
Or,
Not assuming crits.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if I crit, I'm putting all of Cabal's Ruin into it. So.
So yeah, now that you have sneak attack, might as well. Ain't gonna get sneak attack again.
yeah, you get advantage, right?
Yep,
On
let's
both
do it.
attacks? Okay. I'm doing it. Both shots are getting poison powders. Let me... because I do have different arrows that aren't poisoned. So is Saxton armored?
Yeah, he is wearing armor.
Forget what the bottom... Hold on. Sorry. I forget what the different arrows do. Pretty sure broadheads versus flesh. I think bodkins do extra versus armored, which he would be considered armored. Right? 2 bodkin. +1 damage to attack rolls against targets wearing armor. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use those. So if I roll a 19, that would make it a 20, right? Alright, and then I shall be using 2 poison bodkin arrows.
Okay. Make your first attack roll.
And it will be sharpshooted.
Remember, as advantage.
Yeah, I want to see. So that's 16.
16
First
total.
one? Yes.
Sails right by.
That's not that. I haven't rolled advantage yet.
Oh, you haven't rolled advantage yet? Okay.
No. Okay, and that's a 18 plus 5, so 23.
Okay. So,
And I want to use favored foe on him.
okay. So,
We're going in, boys.
and the arrow impacts right through the armor with its piercing tip. Go ahead and roll your second attack and see if you hit before we add all this damage up.
That one. is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Actually,
so go ahead and roll.
22.
Okay, still hits. Go ahead and roll
So-
all of that damage.
So it'll be. Alright, somebody, I'm gonna tell you what I roll and you'll help me add it up real quick.
Oh,
3, 8, and then the favored foe is plus, so that's plus 6,
3, 8, 6.
plus 5.
Yep.
And then the poison damage, you said 2d6 each?
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
4d6. 2, 5, 3, and 2. And those were both sharpshooter. So
Plus
that's
20.
20.
Plus 20.
54.
And to be clear, you were aiming at Saxton or the Star Knight?
Saxton.
Saxton.
Okay. That hurts. Zubar, go ahead and make your attacks.
Well, attack, but yes. And I will also.
With advantage.
I will also sharpshooter.
Okay. It's what sharpshooter's for. I mean,
Yes. Okay. There we go. 20 total.
20 total just hits. Hey, you already learned his armor class. Um,
Hey.
all right, roll damage.
Okay. Should I? Yeah, I'm not gonna Cabal's Ruin. I'll crit. hopefully.
I
If I didn't
mean,
crit though. We're not gonna kill him right here.
I don't know. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna save it for using it on him later?
Yeah, I guess I'll use 2.
I mean, it's very possible he's just gonna heal all this back or something stupid, but
So, Kieran, don't use Cabal's Ruin. I'm just going to tell you. Because Josh is correct. He will heal it all back. However, I'm not going to let all of this just get undermined by he healed it all back. Your actions have left him injured.
Well, let me.
So
roll
I
the
will. I
damage.
don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to apply some debuffs to Saxton before you guys fight him in the next game.
Oh, that's. Well, I rolled an 11 and then a 1 for my damage. So 12, 14 plus sharpshooter, 24.
Yeah, it's not enough to kill him, even both of you together.
Yeah.
But he is
could we have killed him?
severely.
If I had nat 20'd and used all Cabal's Ruin, was it like?
I mean, Bran
Was
already
it
did 50
feasible?
damage. If you'd have nat 20'd, dumped all of Cabal's Ruin into it, with all the damage Bran did, it would have been close.
Close-ish.
I don't want to say exactly because that would be telling. But it would I will say it would make him second guess a lot of his decisions. So
We did 78 damage.
And that
at
was at what
78
distance?
damage, I am going to leave him severely injured. He will be at full health, but I'm going to apply some other debuffs to him.
How far were you guys shooting at?
So,
From the.
How far?
No.
300 feet? Right?
Yeah.
yeah, 300 feet.
Next.
Medieval snipers right here.
You could.
Also, what would all of his troops think about this?
So,
They had
as soon as this
couple
happens,
arrows and
and
the
you hear
ring.
the arrows
Yeah.
and then the
While that-
gunshot, and then...
While that happened, I wanted to do something.
Okay,
but-
go right ahead. Go right ahead.
But question.
Yeah.
Would. Because the range on to cast it is 30 feet. Would thaumaturgy affect them at that distance? Example, a voice boom.
No, I mean, even thaumaturgy wouldn't make your voice loud enough for 300 feet of intimidating
Okay.
carry.
Would he
Then-
thaumaturgy the gunshot? Hypothetically.
No,
No, I
because
think
it
it says
specifically
specifically
says
voice.
voice. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
It's not
So I wasn't sure if, like,
amplify,
I could
it's
cast it.
thaumaturgy.
If I could cast it at 30 feet and then it would carry over like an actual voice boom, Or if
I
it
mean,
just
at
affects the
300
30
feet, even the amplified thaumaturgy voice would sound diminished and unintimidating. He could maybe hear you, but it's not going to be like a booming voice. You know, you're not going to be like Merlin and
Okay.
Excalibur, a dream to some, a nightmare
That was-
to other, you know.
Since that case, then yeah, I'm
Yeah.
tiptoeing my way back.
Okay. So then all of you beat feet as quick as you can to get away from the army that is very alerted to you now. And you see the Star Knight is like barking orders. Find them, hunt them down, clear the forest.
Pass without a trace, pass without a trace, pass without a trace.
A minor unintended side effect is these scouts who go out looking for you might have hell getting through this forest to find you.
Send them out.
So, you guys make it back to the keep. And before we close, when you arrive, you see your forces, Captain Horblack is marshaling them into position. Like they are making battle lines and forming blocks. And you see, marching down the hill, arriving just in the nick of time, one additional unit of guardsmen from Alton as infantry. And
Or
you see Edmund and Leofrich and Horblack, as well as all your retainers, Bruna, Rydolf, everybody assembled at the back of this army. And as you approach, Leofrich looks up at you and he says, "What have you gotten me into? I don't know what to say. I always knew Saxton was crooked, but this is a whole different level than anything I would have thought. Edmund told me everything. The fact that he's alive feels like a miracle."
Told you.
He just chuckles. So does Horblack. Well, we're ready as best we can be. And Edmund looks up at all of you and says, "Thank you all. Thank you all so much. I don't know what to say." And Horblack kind of chimes in and he says, "With respect, sir, thank you is the words you're looking for." And you just see Edmund kind of grinning, and Horblack says to all of you, and he says, "Also, my lords, from me to you, let's fuck 'em up."
There, huh?
And
made our ringer.
you, at this point, the last person that comes up to talk to you is Torsten, who is working with, again, the levies to help bring and ferry supplies and maintain the back end of this army. And he walks up to, randomly, I'm going to say Dubar. And he grabs you by the shirt collar. And he looks down at you, scowling, and he says, "I'm never going to forgive you for making me support staff. If you survive, I will kill you myself. And then we will
Well,
feast
it was-
together in the afterlife. Don't die!" And he grins and just slaps you on the arm.
Wasn't it your idea to stick with those guys?
When we were fighting, yes. Not as a nursemaid. Look
You
at me.
Fight.
I cannot
I'm
fight.
sure you'd look good. I'm sure you'd look good in a skirt.
Didn't you swear your last fight was gonna be whenever we fought in Barrel Arbor?
That is until a surviving noble from an honorable family surfaced miraculously to fight the war against a treacherous, evil bastard from some other place. This is before
Or
this
you're gonna
became
help
the
us
stuff of
win.
legends. This is the kind of battle that you die at and you live well in the afterlife. And I don't get to fight in it. And I will not forgive you, but I still love you.
Well, that just means you'll have to die in a more legendary battle later on.
You've been around us how long, and how many legendary battles have you been a part of? You think this is the be-all, end-all?
You see him cross his arms. You know, you've got the point.
There'll be other battles.
There had better be. And we better not die in this one.
Well, make sure you don't die. We won't forgive you
I'm
if you
not
do.
going to die. I'm not in the fight.
If
So,
things go sideways.
if things go sideways, I'm going to tell them all to run for the mountains, and I'm going to fight whoever is left myself.
Good luck with that.
So,
It's Torsten. I wouldn't put it past him.
at this point, you all stand in front of your new, still currently ruined stronghold. And after a short time, you see on the other end of the valley a large number of soldiers begin to crest the hill, clad in purple, carrying banners of Saxton and Star Knights. And Torsten might be onto something about legendary battles. And you get the sense, Lubo, that today has your back as the once clear sky begins to darken and a little bit of rain starts to fall. And that is where we're going to end the game tonight. And we are kicking off the next game with the Battle of Rend.
Yeah!
There, finally.
Bring your A game, boys.
That was a good one.
Yeah. So much shit's going down.
Yeah. So,
I hope all the whatchamacallit, the Knights of Rend, I hope they're shook for what we did to Saxton.
wait, what are you talking about?
I hope they're like shook up after we
Oh, yeah,
messed them
yeah,
up
yeah.
like that.
Oh, there will be effects that happen from all the preparation that you guys chose to do.
So that could affect their morale, maybe.
It absolutely
Because
could.
there are morale checks.
Yeah, there are morale checks that absolutely could affect their morale. I will put
Meanwhile,
some
our morale
debuffs
is
on.
high because of parchment paper shears.
I mean, you think about it, you're like just marching through this godforsaken forest, and suddenly your commander just takes 2 arrows to the chest out of nowhere, and then a gunshot.
They don't even know what it is.
Yeah. Like, surely, like, the average Joe, he's gonna be like, what the fuck just happened? What are we even doing here?
Yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that one.
That was a good one.
Yes.
That
There
was
wasn't
a
even
fun.
any real combat either. So.
Well, we've had some big combats like the last 2 games, so this was,
Yeah,
to me, a
I'm-
welcome relief, actually.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
The
Especially with
calm
the
before the
neck.
enormous fucking storm.
Yep.
I can't wait.
So this
And we
was
can go
more
over all
of
the
a-
the combat rules and everything.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would say you all have the Strongholds and Followers PDF. Please, this week, just to make it easier on all of us at some point, go into the back where the appendix is, look at the warfare rules, and skim them, at least.
Oh, this might be a good time to mention that I'm not going to be here next week.
Oh, you would,
I'll be on
wouldn't you?
vacation. Yeah,
All right, 2 weeks till the Battle of Ren, guys.
Yeah. So we have time to.
Gives
More
time.
time to look
There's
at it.
literally no excuse not to read up.
All right, well, real quick for, again, posterity, and anyone that watches this later on YouTube, because there's no one watching right now on Twitch. Hey!
Happy Canada Day!
Thank you guys, whoever watches this in the future, for watching and hanging with us, and we don't have a sign-off phrase.